Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. St. James' mother in custody after 7-year-old son murdered. A St. James' mother has been taken into custody and is being questioned by the police in connection with the death of her 7-year-old son. The body of Hayden Rose was discovered in a small banana field outside his home in Brickasset yesterday morning. Rose was a grade 1 student at the Brickasset Primary School and lived in Johnson Common, which is also in Brickasset. The police report that the child's body was discovered about 7:30 a.m. and an alarm was raised. A police team was dispatched to the area. Upon the arrival of detectives, the boy was found lying face down in bushes with what appeared to be chop wounds to the back of his head. Further investigation at the scene led to the discovery of the blood inside his home, which resulted in his mother being taken into custody on suspicion of murder. Residents theorize that the child may have been killed late Sunday night and his body dumped in the banana field. St. Andrew South Police lists 10 wanted men. The St. Andrew South Police have listed 10 men on their latest list of wanted individuals. Wanted are Courtney Ashley, otherwise called Bloodstain. Ashley is wanted for murder and wounding with intent for a November 6, 2017. The incident was committed on Fenbrook Avenue, Kingston 20. Romario Grant, otherwise called Cocker, of Nelson Road, Kingston 13, is wanted for the May 18, 2021 murder of Delana Messom, also of Nelson Road, Kingston 13. Ronald Smith, otherwise called Popskull, and White King, is wanted for wounding with intent from an incident involving Daniel McGore, committed on Monday, April 15, 2022, at Ashley Road, Kingston 13. Dante Morgan is wanted for wounding with intent. Anthony Reynolds, otherwise called Sonson, of Marlborough Avenue in New Haven, Kingston 20, is wanted for the October 7, 2021 murder of Danique Salmon, committed at Riverside Drive in New Haven. Theodore Barrow, otherwise called Theo, of Duane Terrace in New Haven, Kingston 20, is also wanted in connection with the murder of Danique Salmon. Raheem Brown, otherwise called Berger, of Crescent Road, Kingston, for the offense of assault at common law with use of firearm and the March 2019 murder of David Jackson on Joseph Road, Kingston 13. Jermaine Richards, otherwise called Richie, of a Penn Road address is wanted in connection with the May 2020 murder of Ezric Lawson. Albert Mitchell, otherwise called Bally, of Anderson Drive, Retton Meadows, Kingston 11. He is wanted for the November 2021 murder of Norman Dunkley. Marquez Ellis, otherwise called Marquez, is also wanted in connection with the murder of Norman Dunkley. The men are being asked to immediately turn themselves in to the Hunts Bay police. In addition, anyone with information that can assist the police is asked to contact the Hunts Bay police at 876-923-7111 or Crime Stop at 311. Members of the public are also being advised that it is a crime to harbor a fugitive and are urged to share any information they have with the police. Protest Forces meeting of Anchovy High School Board. Members of the Anchovy High School Board are hoping that a June 4th meeting will finally find a solution to a thorny issue that culminated in auxiliary staff padlocking the gate to the educational institution on Monday. The disgruntled workers want the school's bursar to be sacked. The protest temporarily created havoc for students who had exams to sit. However, firefighters removed the lock shortly after, and classes resumed with minimal disruption. Recently appointed school board chairman Nigel Collab told reporters that the issue is one that has been festering before his time and one he is determined to address. That is a sour issue I inherited. We have scheduled a meeting for June 4, and at that meeting it is to specifically discuss that problem, and we have with the bursar not paying the auxiliary staff on time. It's not a matter of funding, he explained. There have been a hint last week, he said, that trouble was brewing. The truth is, last Friday, the principal called me and said that there is anticipation of this. So I told her write a letter to the bursar to immediately, that was about 9 o'clock Friday morning, expedite the payments. I thought that everything was okay until this morning, he remarked. As he had feared, angry staff members took action on Monday we're currently telling the bursar to pack your bags and go. They told reporters that they have been a history of disrespectful behavior and fortnightly salaries being paid late since last year. We are tired, we are fed up of this now, remarked Nicolene Robinson Brown, who spoke on behalf of the group and said she represents them on the board. The chairman writes to her, "We keep meeting, the principal writes, and know better. It seems like a shady boss here," Robinson Brown said, adding that some workers, who should have been paid last Friday, have still not received their salary. Though not as vocal, some students and teachers who were temporarily locked out on Monday voiced their support for the protesting auxiliary staff. Minister of Finance Dr. Nigel Clark outlined that those on the smallest incomes in the public sector, that is $500,000 per year and $600,000 a year, can expect a significant upward adjustment under the compensation reconstructing exercise.
The belief that if it don't start with me, I might be left out. So we have the irony of a reform that is at the doorstep, that is at dawn's door. For everybody to see it is here. And the presence of it heightens anxiety for a number of reasons. But one of them is, am I going to get left out? No, you will not. Because the way we are doing it this time, we're doing it in a way that is sustainable, and all persons, you hear me say all persons paid by the public purse will be included in the public sector compensation restructuring exercise. And I want to make it very clear, you know, we have a heart, you heard me say it earlier, for those at the bottom. And I want to make it very clear, certainly as far as central government is concerned, where we have a number of persons who are paid at the $500,000 a year and the $600,000 a year, drivers and attendants and many other job functions. I want you to know that they can expect a significant adjustment. You hear what I'm saying? I'm saying those at the bottom, at the very bottom, and everybody might think they're at bottom. Everybody might think that they're at the bottom, but I'm defining what the bottom means. Those who are making 600,000 and 500,000 and so on and 700,000 per year, they can expect a significant adjustment under the public sector compensation system. Our aim is to ensure that persons who work in the public sector, at a minimum, we may not be able to solve all of the problems, but we are focused on those with little means and those who are at the bottom of the income scale. And I want them to know that we hear and we understand what it has been like for you over the last several years. And in this compensation restructuring exercise, we have you at the top of our agenda. And you can expect a sizable, a significant adjustment out of this restructuring exercise.
Prime Minister Andrew Hone stated that increased productivity equals greater economic growth.
As our labor movement becomes more enlightened, and as the government works to improve compensation, we have to understand that the conversation about better pay, improved conditions, and increasing the general income of the society is not only about the unidimensional conversation about increasing pay. There is another dimension as well, which labor must now contemplate, which is improving productivity. And that is where I call it now the new frontier, the next pivotal point in the development of the Jamaican society and economy. How do we get labor and our unions, because that is now the new frontier for our unions and the government, to figure out how we're going to increase productivity. Because that conversation, nobody wants to have it. You don't hear about it. Nobody strikes over low productivity. We are at a critical point in our development, where the government acknowledges that over the last decade, with the structural adjustments that we have had to go through, labor did not get its fair share and its reward. And we have put on the table that we are willing to improve labor's share in the pie, particularly for public sector workers. But there is a parallel conversation which must be engaged, which is now the new frontier, as I'm calling it now, in our labor development. And that is of productivity. How do we get each Jamaican to produce more?
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.